If you're Indian and you want to lose your belly fat without giving up rice or trying some bland Western diet, then I have good news for you because with four tiny adjustments to our kind of food, you can lose over 20 kilos of fat, get stronger, and most importantly, finally feel in control again. So, in this video, I'm going to break down what these four adjustments are and what foods you should be eating and how you can actually eat more of the foods you love while getting a lot leaner. So this was me. Now, even though I'm a personal trainer, I could never be like those boring fitness wankers who eat plain chicken and broccoli because for me, every night I had to have some kind of feast to be happy. Now, Calvin, food should be for fuel, not happiness. I don't care, man. Go talk to my Indian parents who whacked my ass with a badminton racket and bought me ice cream after to cheer me up. Anyway, I tried quitting sugar, rice, eating out, but I'd always go back to my old ways. And it wasn't until one day I was at the grocery store buying paneer, but the full fat paneer was sold out, so I had no choice to get the low fat one. There wasn't a huge difference in taste, but it was bearable. So I thought, okay, let me keep being a fat fuck and everything else, but I'll swap out my protein sources for leaner, lower calorie ones. So instead of loading my curries with chicken thighs, I switched to chicken breast. And since I'm a breast man anyway, that was quite easy for me. I went from eating 5 whole eggs to mostly egg whites. It's the same protein, fewer calories. Instead of eating 80% lean beef, I went with 95% lean, or I was just asking the butcher to give me very lean cuts of meat. And after all these swaps, I started to feel like myself again. So from these leaner sources of protein, aim for 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. Not only will you build more muscle, stay fuller, and think about food a lot less during the day, but because you save so many calories, you've earned flexibility, an extra roti or even a chocolate bar at night, guilt-free, man. Now, this is one way to lose your belly fat. If you want 52 more ways, just check the link in the description. I'll send them over for free. Okay, now if you can make this next adjustment to your carbs, 90% of your belly fat problems will just go away. And no, I'm not going to tell you to stop eating bread or rice because that's what an uneducated gandu would tell you to do. You see, carbs aren't the problem. We are. Because just yesterday, I was having lunch with my mom, and when I saw her plate, I ran to get my camera to capture it like it was Natural Geographic. 3 slices of bread, potato, salad on top, chickpeas. That's 4 different sources of carbs and 1 eeny weeny teeny tiny chicken leg. You don't need to quit carbs, my friend, but what cocaine is to Colombia is carbs to us. We need to stop abusing it because when you stack carbs, you stack calories and then you stack fat. So here's how your plate should look like. Half of it should be loaded with a lean source of protein, giving you at least 30 grams of protein. The other half should be one main carb like rice or bread. And then on the side, you could also add a lower calorie carb like the Indian side salad or any vegetable or any low calorie fruit to eat after. So instead of cutting out the amount of rice you're eating, keep things a bit simpler. Limit the number of carbs on your plate first. And if you feel like you need 1 more roti, then just know that this is 100 calories of ghee, 100 of mayo, and 100 of oil. So maybe eat a little bit less of those and use those savings on your rice. Carbs are our main source of energy. Without them, we can't get stronger in the gym, we can't scam people, and we can't fight effectively on the road.
Fucking you, bloody! Boss!
Okay, now even if you eat the perfect amount of carbs and protein, if you can't stick to your diet longer than a few months, you'll stay the same. So this next adjustment is crucial because it'll make the difference between you lasting a day or actually finally pulling this off and getting lean like my client Ishi did. So Ishi always struggled with her weight. She'd been bullied by it for all her life. Every boyfriend she had cheated on her. And despite living with all that pain and motivation to change, she could never last even a month dieting. But once she walked me through what a typical day of eating with her looked like, we noticed that most of the calories were actually coming when she was stress eating during her work hours. So we adjusted our strategy. Instead of focusing on 3 healthy meals, which was impossible at work, she instead had a light breakfast and then fasted throughout the working day had a protein shake if she got hungry at work, and then she really enjoyed a nice dinner that actually made her happy. And she lost 12 kilos of fat in 93 days, and now her ex is crying in her DMs, begging her to take him back. Now, fasting or skipping a meal isn't magical. It's just one way of restricting calories. You see, all diets restrict calories one way or another. But out of all of these, one of them will make you want to kill yourself the least. So, if you're someone who starts acting like a retard when you miss a meal, then a traditional balanced diet is good for you. But if you're someone who wants to really enjoy their food, have an experience for dinner, and truly connect with the biryani, and you're willing to skip a meal, then fast. And if you're someone who's tried everything and nothing works, then maybe try one day you diet, one day off, diet off, diet off. You have to be realistic with your approach, because choosing the right diet is like adjusting your seat and your mirrors before you drive. If it doesn't fit you, your journey is going to end in a crash, aka you in McDonald's flirting with the lunch lady who is much, much, much older than. Okay, now let's be real. I'm not going to lie to you and say this is going to work 100%, because life always gets in the way one way or the other. But the final adjustment will help you bulletproof your plan to lose fat. Now, the first thing is I want you to stop thinking of your calories as a daily budget, but rather a weekly one. So the money here on the table represents each day's worth of calories in an entire week. Now, most of the time on the weekend, instead of sticking to your calorie budget, we act like Bill Gates, yeah, and we end up overspending, we end up in debt. But this time we're going to try to balance the books. So let's imagine it's Monday, you get home from a long tiring day of work, you and your partner lock eyes, and she gives you the let's have shawarma look. So you give in and you've already blown through your calories for the day. But this time we're going to try to balance the books. So on Tuesday, you're going to take healthier sandwiches to work, and you're going to skip dessert as well. On Wednesday, it's someone's birthday at work, you eat 2 large slices of chocolate cake. So on Thursday, you skip breakfast and balance the books. Now on Friday, you have dinner and drinks with friends. So you choose to have high protein shakes and fast the entire day, so you can save all your calories and have fun while keeping everything balanced. And on Saturday night, you order in a pizza, so naturally you wake up on Sunday with regret, so you eat extra clean and you do an entire extra hour of cardio. This is what realistic fat loss looks like. So if you want to lose fat whilst having fun, be extra mindful of how you're balancing the books. Okay, so now that you know how to eat to lose fat, the last thing you want is to end up skinny fat. So watch this 6-minute video next, where I break down exactly how to build muscle while losing fat. It's way easier than you think it is.